Guys, haven't made a video in a while. Figured this would be a good time to do one. Been working a lot and just trying to get my work out, so I really haven't made videos. Today I'm working for myself, Michigan Mobile Auto Service, and I'm down in the city. A little different than my country lifestyle up north, Michigan. But this guy treats me very well, so I come down here and try to do what I can for him. So this here's this guy. 2003 GMC van, full size. He's complaining about the brakes, kind of giving out, feeling like they give out. This has a Hydro Boost unit in it. See all that. Doesn't really look like it's leaking. What I gotta do is air up some tires. It's been sitting for a little while now. A little roddy going on there. I have to take the camper off the back and go take her on test drive. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna air up some tires real quick and disconnect this trailer, and then take it for a ride and see what we got. So, alright guys, took the van on a ride. Found the brakes actually work pretty well. They were just done not that long ago. Problem being is, it's kind of a GM thing. You come up to a stop, and when you're stopping, let's say if you're doing 30 miles an hour and you come to a complete stop, the last 5 miles an hour, the wheel speed sensor in the fronts, normally the fronts, will quit reading, and it tells it that it's on ice or something, so it starts pulsating the brakes. That's what this is doing. I've hooked the scan tool up. I took it up and down the driveway just a little bit, and you can automatically see it on the scan tool. Anything over 5, 6, 7 miles an hour, it starts reading. Anything under, it drops off. So this one says the left front is dropping off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack it up, and I'm going to look at the wheel speed sensor itself, and I'll take you along for that. Let me get this thing up in the air and get the wheel off. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. We got sensor wire, runs up behind the rotor. I got the rotor off. I got the caliper off. I left the bracket on. I just took the 2 big bolts out. What happens with these is down in here, the actual housing for the bearing rusts, and it pushes up on that sensor. And that sensor clearance to the tongs that are in there are too far away. The faster it goes, the more AC frequency it makes, and it can pick it up. On low speeds, it can't build enough power to see anything. So what we got to do is take that little guy out there and be very gentle on trying to get this out. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Take your time. Penetrating lube really don't help a whole lot, I've noticed. It kind of makes things real slippery to try to actually maneuver and work. If they do break, you can pick them out, drill them a little bit. It's kind of crappy, but alright, I'm going to show you if I can get this one out. We'll see, and then we'll clean it and I'll explain more once it's out. Alright, so I got extremely lucky. It actually just popped right up. But if you can see all that rust and debris in there, I don't know if you can see that or not. All kinds of rust. Let me get this out. So the sensor itself looks pretty good. It came right out. Very impressive. Now if you look here, you can see there's just a little bit of rust all the way up and around that, which is probably 3 thousandths, 4 thousandths of an inch, or 100 thousandths, sorry. But that's enough. And I don't think you can see it, but I can see it. There's little tongs in there, and the gap between the head of that and those little tongs that are in there are too far away. So now I'm gonna chip some of this away. Try not to get as much debris in the hole as possible. I might stick a little hose in there just to give it a little extension, and we'll just clean it up. That's all we got to do. Put it back together, and we're going to see if it works. Okay, can you see in there? It's not the cleanest in the world, but I see a whole lot of fresh new metal. All the stuff that looks dirty is pitted. It's indentations. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of brake lubrication, just a little bit of grease, and just go over that surface just a little bit. It doesn't have to be very heavy at all, just enough to coat it very thin. That'll help prevent rust coming right back. Okay, just a thin layer of grease on there. That's it. We're going to put the sensor back in. Alright, sensor's back in. It's nice flush mounted. Just got to hook our wire back up, feed it back up around, get our rotor back on, get our caliper back on, get it down, and see if it works. Alright, so here we just got communication. We're going to go in diagnostics, over to GM, auto select, read the VIN. Cool deal. It's going to ask me a couple more questions on this one. It's under, it's 2-wheel drive, and throttle actuated. Diagnosis, control unit, interlock braking system, live data, and this will tell us what we got to know. What we're looking at here is this one, and this one. So we're going to click on those. And we're really looking for that left front, and we're going to show just them. So they're saying that the value is 3.11. Alright? So we're going to put this thing in reverse. We're going to back up on down the driveway. Make sure our brakes work. Always remember to pump them back up. If you ever take anything brake-wise apart, usually you spread your pads apart, and you have a really low pedal for the first couple pumps. So, just a friendly little gesture. Alright, that should be enough room. Let's see if we can get her up about 10 miles an hour, and then we'll start slowing down. We'll go a little more if we can. Stop. Perfect. Do that again. Sorry, camera. Okay. Really need to get this guy to turn over here. He's having a hard time staying up. Oh well. Here we go again. We'll watch these numbers, and they should all, well, you know what? Let's go into graph. We'll graph them. We got blue, green, and red. So all our lines are right there. They're all tied together. pretty good. Alright. Everything looks to be in the ranges. Let's see how far we can take this back. There we go. So we can play into our speeds, and everything is staying exactly the same, which is great. I didn't turn this on, and I should have when I looked at it the first time, but the left front would stay at 3.11 until about 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour, somewhere in there. But on the stops, it was about 5 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour. It would drop out. It would say 311. The other ones would still be reading, like somewhere in the 4s, the 5s, you know, wherever we were in that time. But that's good. That's going to make customer happy. It did not need a wheel speed sensor. It did not need a wheel bearing, which that job would have cost over, just parts alone, was $100 at least. The speed sensor, I believe those are like $40, $45. But really, all you have to do is clean the rust off the bearing, as long as your bearing's good, a given. If a bearing is bad, it'll do the same thing, because everything is on an angle. It puts things out of proportion. But with this, most GMs, and being even that it's a two-wheel drive, the wheel bearings hold up pretty well, besides for the rust. So there's my van experience. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I've got some other stuff to work on now, so we'll make this a video, and then we'll make some other stuff too. Thanks for watching.